can hardly speak. I can't spell it out for you. My mind is weak, but you caught me when my heart is racing. Oh, you sweep me off my feet when trials come before me. You were all I need, always on my mind, one step at a time. Thought it was impossible to feel this way again. Never thought this heart would be made new, but it's not the end. You caught me when my heart is racing. Oh, you sweep me off my feet when trials come before me. You were all I need. It's been a long day, hard enough to get away. Just when the rain starts falling, I hurry to the city train. I take it every other day, and I look for you there, rain soaking your hair, my favorite city stranger. Oh, but if only I got to know you slowly. I take you out to your corner spot, a cup from the coffee pot. We talk about our friends a lot. See, I already know, still it's nothing but hope, unless I say you don't know me, but I've been waiting for so long, just trying to find a thing to say. See you.
Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so sorry. I have been having horrible technical difficulties all weekend long, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully you can see me okay. We are going to try and get this stream going. At this point, I'm just not even sure how long this one's going to last. It's been a heck of a weekend. I think I've isolated my technical difficulties into my laptop. I think my laptop is the one that's causing the problems this time. I must have some malware or something on there, so I'm going to have to dive into that a little bit more after the stream today, but I've had trouble getting it to just kind of load and do all kinds of stuff this weekend. So it wasn't just today, it wasn't just this morning. I actually had issues with it yesterday too, so excuse me, I'm sorry. I think I've got it all figured out. I think we're ready to go. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for your patience. It is a beautiful morning here in Northern Illinois. It's a little chilly, if I remember correctly. It is, well, it's 50 degrees right now. It's supposed to be up to 56 degrees. So it's that nice, cool fall weather. My husband and my daughters are home this weekend. They came home for a family event. It was kind of an unfortunate event why they came home, but they were home this weekend, so I got to enjoy some time with them. But they helped out yesterday, raking some leaves in the front yard. So Mr. Wizard and one of my daughters got all the leaves done yesterday, so that was really exciting. With my allergies the way they are, I have not been able to help out in the yard. So that's been a lot of fun. I love this time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year. I love the fall changes and the colors, and I hope you guys love it just as much as I do. I still have this stupid cough, so I do apologize for that. I have another note into the doctor to try and figure out if we can get rid of this cough or not. I know these coughs have a tendency to last quite a while, so otherwise I am feeling well, other than a little flustered because of all the technical issues. So hopefully things are going okay. I'm going to pop into chat in just a minute and say hello to everybody, but a very special shout out to the first person that was in chat this morning. Linda, this is like the third time in a row you've been the first person in chat, so good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for your patience, hanging out and waiting while we were trying to figure out these stupid technical issues, but I think we've got them figured out. I think everything's all my numbers are looking okay. So hopefully things are going well today. Today we're going to be working on our Tropics project, and for you, those of you who have been following along with this project, you know this project has become my nemesis. I have had to take it apart and put it back together. This will now be the 4th time. So I just completely started over again. I said I'm so frustrated with this. I'm frustrated with myself because I haven't been following the pattern correctly, and so I've actually went as far as to take all the blocks apart. So we're back at, the blocks are assembled here, but we have to put the blocks back together. So I'm gonna have to do some ironing. So I've got the iron out because all these seams here, and we're gonna have to sew these all back together. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. Excuse me, sorry again for the cough. So I am really gonna try very hard to make sure that we put the blocks together the way they're supposed to be put together, so then that way we actually get that for primary and secondary pattern. Because that was the issue before, is we were going to be able to get the primary pattern to show up, but the secondary pattern was not going to show up, and I really wanted that secondary pattern to show. So 10-second break here. I have to switch out the thread on the machine. I did pull out the old thread, and I'm getting ready to put my white thread back in, so I'm going to do that. But let me hop into chat, say hello to you guys, give myself a little bit of a mental break here, just kind of regain my composure, and then we are going to get started with today's project. Don't forget to tell me in chat what you guys are working on today. I would love to hear what you guys are working on, and if you haven't already, make sure you post pictures on our Facebook group, because I love seeing what you guys are working on over there. The Facebook group allows me to interact with you guys a lot more than I can here on YouTube, and I absolutely love it. It's the highlight of my week. Absolutely 100%. So if you guys can, if you're able, please consider posting something over there so that I can see what you guys are doing and hang out over there. All right, let me hop in chat, see who's all in. Of course, I already said hello to Linda, so good morning again, Linda. Thanks so much for joining us. Sandra K was the second person in chat, so hi, Sandra. Thanks so much for joining us. Oh, I see who's in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas is in the house. Thanks so much, Lucas, for joining us. Good morning. Good morning, sir. I hope you are well. Hi, Chloe. Good morning. So great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Dawn, morning. Dawn says good morning in 2 waves. Excuse me. Again with the cough. Tracy, good morning from Journey. Hi, Tracy. It's so great to see you again. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Patty, hello. She says, hello, Danny. Good morning. Hello. Thanks so much. Hi, Betty. Haven't seen you in a while, Betty. I hope you are well. I hope things are going great. Kelly says, hi, everyone. I hope Danny can be on today. Kelly, I hope so, too. I hope it lasts. We'll have to wait and see how things go, but good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate you being here. Kathy Klein says, good morning from Decatur, Illinois. Hi, Kathy. It's so great to see a fellow Illinoisan. Good morning and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hi, Nancy. So great to see you. Nancy says, hi, y'all. Off to church I go. No problem, Nancy. We understand. Thanks so much for stopping in, though. We really appreciate it. Again with the cough. Brat says, hello, everyone. Just woke up from a 6-hour sinus pill-induced coma. Brat, man, I need to know what kind of pills you're taking, because I need some of those. This whole seasonal allergy thing is just killing me. So some nice sleep would be great. No. Make sure you let me know what you got there. Ooh, I hear some dogs barking. One of the kids must be home. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm glad you were able to wake up and woke up to hang out with us this morning. Okay, there it is. The music stopped in my ear for a second. And that's usually my indication that something's wrong with the stream. So I'd be like, uh-oh. All right. Gazella, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello. How are you? I hope you are well. Please let me know what you're working on. I'd love to hear more about it. Greenland Quilter. Hi, Katie. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, you may remember Katie from Greenland Quilter. It's so great to see you. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. Her and I have got some fun things happening here in the next couple weeks. So pay attention to the channel because we're going to have some fun things going on. Can't tell you too much about it just yet, but it's coming up. So get ready for that. Gladys, good morning. I was so glad to hear that your surgery went well. Gladys had glaucoma surgery, so I'm glad that went well. She's at home recovering. We're thinking about you, Gladys. So glad that things went okay. June, hello, June. Good morning. She says hello to everybody. Good morning, June. So great to see you all as well. Linda Faust says, well, let's see if I can win some thimbles instead of losing them this time. LOL. Well, I mean, it's the luck of the draw. I have no control, but hopefully, good luck to you. I hope you get some wins today. Just checking to see if I've missed anybody else. I apologize if I have. I'm trying to go through them here. Kelly says, I'm going to be working on sashing for the Sudoku quilt later, but it's 42. Wow, a Sudoku quilt. Kelly, that sounds really cool. I'd love to see pictures of that. If you're on our Facebook group, please post pictures. I'd love to see what that looks like. That sounds like so much fun. Sandra says, Danny, did you mail out the notions? Sandra, I thought I did, but then I got an email from one of our other subscribers, and she said she didn't get them either, so apparently I didn't, and so I sincerely apologize for that. If you wouldn't mind emailing me your address again today, I will get those out in the mail, hopefully this week. So I sincerely apologize. I don't know what happened. I guess I think this head cold has just completely messed with my brain the whole month of October. So I did not get them out. I do apologize for that. Send me an email with your address and I will get that taken care of right away. There was another subscriber that said the same thing and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot. So I'm blaming the head cold. I really am. I'm truly sorry about that. Brad said, how is your throat? My throat is okay. It's a little scratchy because of all the sinus drainage, but the coughing is really what's bothering me the most. But I appreciate you asking. Thank you. Excuse me again. Chloe says, starching fabric for Dawn so long. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I love starching fabric. It's so much fun. Kenshaw, good morning. Hello, how are you? It's so great to see you. Haven't seen you in forever, it seems like. I'm so glad you're here with us. Thank you so much. Greenland Coulter says, yes, we sure do, Danny. Yes, we do, Katie. Shh, we can't tell them too much about it, but I keep teasing them. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hi, Kath. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. It is so great to see you. Sandra says, I'm cleaning the craft room and a quilt on a long arm. Oh, you know what? You know what? I really like cleaning the craft room because then you kind of find all those fun projects that you forgot you had and then get totally distracted. Are you like me? You get totally distracted and by the end of the day, you really haven't cleaned a whole lot, but you've had a lot of fun. So I hope you have a lot of fun with that. Kelly says, the boys are doing something with bacon and eggs. I'm sticking with coffee for the moment. Ooh, coffee sounds so good right now. Coffee sounds like heaven, especially some nice warm liquid on my throat. It sounds like heaven. I would love some of that. So, and forgive me, I do not remember. I think it was Brett46 that told me about the cough medicine, the honey with the lemon and the warm water. I think that was her that told me about that last week. I did try that out. It worked fantastically. So thank you for that advice. That worked great. I'm definitely going to do that again today after the stream today. Again, cool. Lucas said, so I watched the replay of the stream last week and missed last Sunday. I heard some people talking about the slots. Yeah, Lucas, a lot of people were asking about how come the Skull and Crossbones was paying out. I don't know if you set something up or not. Awkward Quilter GA, everyone, just a quick stop. Well, hello, Awkward Quilter. Thanks so much for stopping in. We really appreciate you stopping in. I have yet to get through all of the chats before we can start the project, but that's okay. It's no problem. I want to say hello to every single person that's here. So, you guys are all my friends, and I want to say hello to every single one of you. So I like to say hello to everybody before we pop in. Hi, Terry. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us as well. All right, I really need to get to this project. Looks like I've gotten through everybody in chat. If I missed you, I am so sorry. Please make sure you tag me so that I know you're there, and I will absolutely say hello to you again. All right, so today we're going to be working on our Tropics project, and like I said before, you guys know this project has become my nemesis. I don't understand why. It's not a difficult project. It's actually a really easy project. It's just for some reason it has just become my nemesis. I don't know why. So this time today, I'm going to pay super close attention to the pattern because that's been part of my problem. Is I think I've just been too distracted and I haven't really been paying close enough attention. So that's what we're going to do today. Let me show you guys what the project is supposed to look like. Excuse me. Again with the cough. I'm sorry. This is what the project is supposed to look like. I don't know if you guys can see that. But it's got a primary and a secondary pattern in it. It's a little bit hard to tell. I really need to get a better camera. I know. That's on the list of for next year. Where am I at? So we were able to get the primary pattern, but the secondary pattern was not showing up because I didn't have the blocks oriented correctly. I had them all put together correctly, but they weren't oriented correctly, so that secondary pattern wasn't showing up. And I really wanted that primary and secondary patterns to show up. So that's why we pulled them all apart and decided to do this over again. It's a little bit of an annoying, but it is what it is. All right. All right, looks like Lucas is talking about thimbles in chat, so if you're interested in that, make sure you check out the chat. Let me go ahead and get this machine set up. I apologize. Usually I have the machine set up for you guys before I get on the stream. But with all the technical difficulties, I was already running late. It was just a hell in a handbasket kind of morning. You guys know how that goes. Alright, the machine was clean. And then I put a binding on a quilt this weekend. So of course now it's full of pink dust everywhere because I used some pink thread. So let me just dust that off real quick. So, alright, now we got to get our white thread back in here and then we can get started with this project. Oh, this cough is killing me. I have some cough lozenges here. I'm going to take one of those in just a minute. Yep, hell in a handbasket. That is the motto of this show, for sure, because it seems like there's always something going wrong. Alright, I'm going to take one of these cough drops. Give me just a second here. Hopefully that will help with my cough. It's like, I can go hours without a single cough. I mean, I will go 2-3 hours without a single cough, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if I get up and I move or what happens, but then I get up and I start coughing a little bit, and then I just start coughing, and it's just awful. So like I said, I'm gonna send another note into my doctor here on Monday, see if we can figure out how to. Terry says, LOL, that is a funny saying. Yes, it's, and I use it all the time. One of our subscribers even was so kind enough to send me an actual hell in a hand basket, which is fantastic. I absolutely love it. So thank you. That is one of my most prized possessions. My kids ask me about it every time they're in the room. I just absolutely love it. So thank you to that subscriber. They know who they are. I appreciate them, and I appreciate all of my subscribers. Alright. So first things first, I think we should probably re-iron all these. So I had to pull them all apart, and some of them are kind of, let me show you. Some of them have got a little bit of a kink in them. Some of them have got a nice heavy fold in them, a couple of folds in them. So let's just go ahead and run through with the iron real quick and iron all these up again flat so then they sew up again for us. There's just a bunch of threads on these. It's just kind of is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to separate them back out into the two different types of blocks. I've got a pinwheel block. Not a pinwheel block, an hourglass block. Got an hourglass block, and then this, I don't know, it's like half of a half square triangle block. It's really weird. But we've got two of those, so I'm going to go ahead and separate these out real quick. Terry says, Danny, do you have something warm to drink? Put the call out. You know, unfortunately, I think I'm the only one in the house right now. You know, I had planned to grab myself a cup of coffee and tea and, you know, all kinds of other things until the, technical difficulty. So, Lucas, if Tony is still around and she hasn't made her way home and she wants to stop at McDonald's for coffee for me, that would be fantastic. Because I could really go for some nice warm coffee. She can ask Taylor what it is I ordered last time. If she's able. If not, that's alright. I do have something cold to drink. I do have some cold water here, so I'm going to suck on this cough drop. And hopefully that'll help a little bit. Just going to iron these up real quick. Terry says, I finished my Cotton Cuts PMQ this weekend. Now to sandwich it. Sandwich. Now I'm hungry. Well, I don't know if I told you guys. I think I told you guys this already. But I will be joining the next Cotton Cuts PMQ. I think it's the Tree of Life. I think that's what it's called. I will be joining. I couldn't join the last couple of them for financial reasons, but not that it's super expensive, it's just I had a lot of other things going on at the moment. But I will be joining the next one. I'm super excited about it. I'm so happy to be getting back into it. I'm really excited. So what we're going to be doing is once a month we will have a live stream. We're going to be doing them on our live streams. And I'm going to set it up so that we can sit down and do them together. So if you're new to cotton cuts and it's something you want to do to join, or if you are a veteran of cotton cuts and you just want to sew along with us, you can absolutely do that. I'm trying to convince Mama Joyce to go in on it with us. We'll have to wait and see if she'll do it or not. She did help me pick out my colorways. Excuse me. So I do have my optional colorways selected, so we'll wait and see what I'm able to sign up for. I'm not going to tell you guys what those are just yet. We'll have to wait and see. But if you're interested in that, head over to Cotton Cuts. If you do !CC, I think, in chat, it'll give you a link to Cotton Cuts website. You can go ahead and check them out. I always keep a link to their website in my descriptions because I'm a huge fan of Cotton Cuts. So if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, make sure you head over there. Check that out. Get signed up. Sign-ups start December 1st. But it's always good to kind of have an idea of what you want to sign up for. Do yourself a pick 3 options because they sell out really quickly. So always give yourself 3 options, your first, second, third choices. That way you're all prepared and ready to go to sign up for it. Katie asked, do I know which colorways I'm going to be selecting? Like I said, I just mentioned that my mom picked them out for me. She's picked out 2 of them for me. I'm going to have her look at it one last time before we sign up, just to make sure that those are the 2 options she wants. The 2 that she wants me to pick. I'm only doing 1, but I had her choose 2 so that I have a backup just in case. But I'm not going to tell you what that is until I sign up for it. So that way I'm not influencing your decision. You guys pick whichever one is best for you. The good news is that they are all the same. The quilts that we make are all the same. The colors are obviously different, but the quilts that we make are all the same. The large and the small are usually very, very similar. The small is usually just a smaller condensed version of the large. It's usually like an extra row that's missing. So most of the clues are going to be the same. Okay? You might have a couple of extra pieces between the large and the small, but it's not that big of a deal. I usually make the large one because I just feel like that one to me is more useful because people can put it on their beds and things like that. So I always make the large one. I have not, and I don't plan to purchase any of the extra borders to make the quilt like a queen size or anything like that. You do have that option if you choose. I usually don't. I usually don't do that. I just make the quilt whatever size it's going to be, and then that way people can use it to however they choose. Hi, Katie. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. Happy Sunday morning to you. Excuse me. Greenland Coulter. Katie says, Kim Moose is going to be on my live November 29th to give away a small Tree of Life full kit to 1 lucky subscriber. Ooh, wow. That is exciting, Katie. That is really, really exciting. November 29th. What time, hon? What time we'll promo it for you? That is really, really exciting. Congratulations on that. I feel like I missed somebody. Dawn says, okay, been listening and taking a break. What am I working on with a question mark? Rag jacket is complete and oh so soft and cuddly. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'd love to see that. Make sure you post pictures in our Facebook group. There it is, Chloe. Yep. Thank you for that, for popping those up there. Thank you for Terry for that as well. Yes. Terry says she's going to be joining the Tree of Life as well. That's awesome. I am in the Central Time Zone, Katie. Of the Greenland Quilter. I am on the Central Standard Time. And we did just recently have a time change, so that's why things are it might be a little off for some people. We had a time change last weekend. Alright, so we are just ironing up these blocks in case you're just joining us. We are just ironing up these blocks to get them nice and this quilt has become my nemesis. It's a super easy quilt. It's a cozy quilt design pattern. Super easy to do. I just have not been paying enough attention to it. I've been distracted. So, It's my own fault, really. But we're gonna fix it. We are gonna fix it. Lots of noises happening outside. I'm not sure what's happening, but I hope you guys can't hear those. I apologize if you can hear it. I think the throat lozenge is just helping. Oh, okay, thank you. She says 7 p.m. GL time, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Okay, well, thanks for all of that information. That is super helpful. Really appreciate that. So make sure you check out Katie's channel. If you haven't already, you can do !Katie, that's K-A-T-Y, in chat. And it should give you a link to her channel. If you haven't already subscribed to her channel, make sure you go over there and check her out. Her and I are going to have some fun things happening here soon. So make sure you check that out. You'll see that she was nice enough to do an interview on my channel. We had so much fun. Oh my goodness, we talked forever. We are two peas in a pod. I'm telling you, we're just so close together. With regards to just personality wise and things like that. So yeah, her and I are gonna have a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. All right. I love ironing. It's so much fun. Dawn says, cereal. Making my bowl of cereal lunch now. Yum. Sandra, I got your text. I got your message. Thank you again so much for that. I really appreciate it. I apologize. I have no idea what happened, but I'm going to blame my head cold on that. So I will get that out to you guys. Those were the October redemptions. I apologize for that. Like I said, another subscriber reached out. They're like, yeah, Danny, I didn't get mine either. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I did. So my apologies. Thank you for being patient with me. And speaking of notions, especially your notion redemptions, I've been looking at some new ones lately. I haven't purchased anything yet, so of course they won't be in these next envelopes, but I've been looking at some new ones lately. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you redeem those thimbles. You can claim 1 redemption per live stream, per type of redemption. So like you can do like 1 notion and 1 fat quarter every live stream if you wanted to, if you have that many. Yes, we did have a great time, Katie. Yes, we did. Yes, Terry, November 29th. Hi, Gazella. Gazella says she's got to go. No problem. We appreciate you popping in. Thanks so much for hanging out with us for a little bit. Awesome. Thanks, Katie. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. These are ironing up really quickly. I'm just going to pull these down here. It makes it a little bit easier to do. There's threads everywhere because I had to pull out all of the threads. But that's okay. So anyway, the girls were both home this weekend, which is really exciting. It was kind of an unplanned thing. One of them was supposed to be home for a little bit of an adventure that we were going to be going on, but it turns out we couldn't do that. And then the other one ended up having to come home because we had a family event we needed to go to. So it was the family event wasn't so great, but the having the girls home was really great. I miss them, and it's so much fun to have them home. And my husband and I joke, Mr. Wizard and I joke all the time because, you know, the house is usually pretty quiet when they're not here, and then all of a sudden it gets really loud and obnoxious and they start fighting, and, you know, it's just, you know, it's kids when they come home. And he and I will just both look at her and go, the girls are home. whenever that happens. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I'm always grateful when they come home. I get to spend a little bit of time with them. They will be home again soon, or at least Tony will be home again next week. Next weekend she comes home for her Thanksgiving break. You guys believe it's Thanksgiving already? My God, it's like month has gone by way too fast. I've things I need to do this month before December hits, and I have not had the time or the energy to do them yet because of the stupid cold. So I really need to get in gear and get those things done. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how things go. Just ironing up these pieces. Hi Brenda, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. Hello, how are you? I hope you are well. If I missed anybody else pop in, please say hello. Again, if you haven't already the first time. Oh, Melina. Hi, Melina. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. Happy Sunday morning to you. Linda Denton is also here. Good morning. Hello. We got both Lindas in the house tonight. No, it's not tonight. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Yesterday, I was able to put a binding on a quilt. I did not grab it. Our mix and match quilt is completely done. I put the binding on it yesterday, so it looks awesome. I love the colors on that one. It's so cool. Hey, Tay? Yeah, she might have left already. I was going to ask her to grab it, but I think she left already. She said she was going to try and take off by 11, so... Yes, Katie, this whole dang year has sped by very quickly. It really has. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I was like, I looked up and I'm like, my God, where did everything go? It's like, my God, it's already almost the end of the year. It's so crazy. Yes, Terry, the colorways are all very, very beautiful. They are very pretty. There's a couple of them that stand out to me, but surprisingly enough, they're not the ones my mom picked. So, that's all right. That's okay. I gave her the option to choose, so she's going to choose for me. So we'll have to see how things go. If you are joining the Tree of Life, I'd love to see what colorways you're choosing. You can post those in our Facebook group, or you can just tell us here in chat if you want to. Love to hear them. They're currently working on the names of them. I know I've been seeing them post. People are voting on what names to name them, so that's pretty cool. Almost done here, guys. I just wanted to iron all these up and make sure they're nice and flat before we start sewing them again. I always like my pieces to be nice and flat so that the seams line up really nicely. That's just kind of a thing for me. Some people don't mind if the pieces are a little kitty wampus. I prefer that they lay flat. So I'm taking this extra minute or two to get them all nice and flat again because I had to pull them all apart so everything's kind of bent at the seams. When is my next live? Next Sunday? No, I take that back. We are not doing a live stream the Sunday for Thanksgiving. Yeah, no, I have a live stream next week. It's the week after that I don't have a live stream. So next Sunday. There are no Saturday streams in November other than that first one that we had a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure about a Saturday stream in December yet. I've got a lot going on in December. There's a lot going on. I was hoping to get one in December. We'll have to wait and see. I actually need to set up that schedule here soon. Another thing I need to do. Oh my gosh, there's just so much to do. So I need to set up that schedule. But my next live stream will be next Sunday. And then I'm not having any streams at all for the weekend of Thanksgiving because there's just so much family stuff going on. It seems like Mr. Wizard and I are going to be driving down to Kentucky to drop off one of our daughters back at school that Sunday. So we're not going to be home that weekend. Terry says, I want the batiks. I have a runner-up that if it doesn't work out, but if I got in on the last one, you can sign up a day early. Yes, that's absolutely true. If you are in the if you were a participant in the previous PMQ, then you will get a link via email that will let you sign up a day early. Yeah, so you guys get a little bit of an early bird option. And then it opens to the masses on December 1st. Does it start in January or does it start in February? I couldn't remember when the first clue will ship. I'm sure it was listed there and I just missed it. I also have a very special cotton cuts project that I'll be working on in December. So keep an eye out for that. I signed up for something a little extra from Cotton Cuts. So in the month of December, we'll have a live stream on that. I don't know exactly when yet. Like I said, I really need to look at my schedule and figure out what I'm doing for December. Cannot believe November's almost over already. Jeez. February. Okay, that's what I thought it was in February. Yeah. Oh, Brenda's talking legit kits. Oh, yeah, okay. That one looks like a lot of fun, too. I unfortunately have too many things going on already to sign up for the legit kits one. And if I'm being honest, I'm not really a big fan of the iris that's coming up. That one's, it's just not my... not one that I'm really interested in, but I am keeping an eye on those kits to see if there's one that I like, because those are paper piecing and I'd really love to do a full-size paper piecing project one day, and I like the idea of it being a monthly subscription, so then that way I'm not too overwhelmed with it. I can just do the one at a time, which is kind of nice. All right, just running through these really quickly. Like I said, I like to try and keep things. Now I have the hiccups. You know, if it's not one thing, it's another today. I swear. The good news is that so far, somebody knock on wood, the technical difficulties seem to be under control so far, so that's good. Yeah, Kelly, I have to agree with you there. It was really cool. I like the variances of colors, and I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I don't think I need a full size gold outfit. Yeah, I have to agree with you. Kelly says she thinks the eyeball is creepy, and I kind of have to agree with her a little bit. That one was a little different for me. The elephant one that they did the one time was really cool. I've seen Terry has posted a bunch of pictures on Kathy's page and on our page too of the elephant. That one is really, really cool. That one's really cool. So maybe if there's another one that shows up, but the iris is a little much for me. Oh, there you go, Brenda. Yeah, she says hers will remind her of her daughter because her daughter has blue eyes. That'll be cool. Finished the free block pattern from Legit Kits. It was really fun. Oh, that sounds like fun too. We're getting there, guys. The pile is getting smaller. Some of these aren't bad. Some of these are laying pretty flat. But other ones are kind of all kinds of, the edges are bent from when we sewed up the seams. So I'm just trying to reflatten those so that they'll lay nice when we run them through the machine again. We're gonna pay close attention to the pattern this time, and we're gonna make sure we do it correctly this time. I think that's why we're on episode 12 with this particular pattern. It is what it is. It's teaching me resiliency and patience for sure. I'm learning. Ooh, a cup of coffee for your daughter who's a barista. That's pretty neat. You guys might remember me doing the cat back here for my daughter, Taylor, when our cat passed away. For those of you who have been on the channel for a long time, at the very beginning of the channel, there was a cat, a black cat that would sit in the room with me. This was my daughter's bedroom at one point in time, so it was also the black cat's bedroom. Her name was Angel, and she was very old. She was a very elderly cat and not very well. She had, she was in liver failure, and so we were just kind of keeping an eye on her. Liver or kidney? It might have been kidney. I think it was kidney failure. We you know, we're letting her live out her days as best she could. And when she passed, we made that cat block. We made 2 of them. We made that one there that's hanging on the wall for her. So then that way she's always with us. And then we also made a second one for my daughter to take to school with her. So she has that one hanging up on her wall in her home as well. So that way Angel is always still with us. She always makes her appearance on the stream right behind my head. Brenda, I agree with you. That pattern is cursed. Poor Brenda had trouble with this pattern. Brenda was going to be doing a sew along with us for this pattern. Poor Brenda had some issues with her cutting in the very, very beginning. And so she ended up having to turn it into a paper piecing project because of the way she cut the pieces. So then she started that, and then she had some issues with that as well. So Brenda, I feel you. This has been a cursed pattern from the start for myself as well. I am not sure what is going on because it's such a simple pattern too. That's the part that just floors me. Is it's such a simple pattern, and it's just been my nemesis. So I'm determined that we are going to finish this pattern. We're going to finish this project. It is going to work out. We just need to work through it. So. Well, they say 4th time's the charm. Excuse me. Kelly said she's going to be starting the wolf from Violet Craft after Christmas. Ooh, I bet that's going to be cool. A wolf sounds really cool. Yeah, Legit Kids has a lot of really cool patterns. I mean, you don't have to just sign up for their monthly one. They have a lot of really cool ones. I love the abstract art of it. It's really, really cool. I love that about them. I just haven't really found one that super speaks to me yet. The car one is really neat. I keep that one kind of on the back burner. I have that one kind of flagged on in my web browser. And I might end up with that one someday. We'll have to wait and see how things go. Almost done. Oh, Carrie, that's great advice for anyone that's interested. If you are interested in Legit Kits and you want to kind of get an idea of how it feels and how it works and things like that, they have a free pattern that you can download. She said you just search for a free pattern on their website, and you can download it, and that way it kind of gives you an idea of what their patterns look like, how they work, and then that way you can it's kind of like a trial run to see if you want to invest your money in the big size pattern. So that's a great piece of advice there, Terry. Thank you. For anyone that's interested in it. And if you've never done paper piecing before, it's not hard to do. It does take a little bit of kind of getting out of your head to kind of get started. But once you get started, it goes fairly easily. I wouldn't say quickly, because paper piecing does take a lot longer than regular traditional piecing. And there can be quite a bit of fabric waste as well, just depending on how you cut your pieces if you're not careful. But I've done a bunch of different small paper piecing projects on the channel, so you're welcome to go watch any of those. I can't at the moment think of which ones they are, but there's a bunch of videos that I've done on various different types of paper piecing. I've done a bunch of It's So Emma paper, which is the pre-cut paper, the paper like pads that you put the pieces underneath. I've done a bunch of those. Last year for Christmas, I did 2 different ones that were for charm squares. You put the whole charm square down there, and it helps you cut the pieces, and then you put them back together. So I did 2 of those. If you are interested in that, that is a great way to start to learn how to paper piece. It's So Emma paper, or any of those, like the Moda's got the cake mix patterns. Those are really good too. Those are really great ways to kind of learn how to do it a little bit, kind of get in the mindset of it. The trick with any paper piecing project, at least in my opinion, is that you want to make sure that you turn your thread length, your stitch length down. You want to make sure that it's really tight stitch length, because then that way it's much easier for you to pull the paper off with on the back. It does make for a bit of a challenge when it comes to pulling the pieces apart, because the threads are so close together. So that is a little bit of a challenge. But that's why you go slow, you take your time, and really pay attention to what you're doing, and you should be okay. But they're a lot of fun. I would like to one day get into a full-size project. And we will on the channel, probably maybe next year. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't really planned out next year's plan yet. I mean, obviously we're going to be doing the Cotton Cuts Tree of Life, but I'm not sure. I have a couple of other projects that I need to pull out that I want to get to next year. All right, that was the last one. All right, so now we've got all of our pieces ironed up again. So now we can actually start getting sewing again. Hold on just a second here. All right. Kelly says, I've not done an FPP since the Bernese Mountain Dog head 2 years ago. I have to look back on my channel. Oh, wow. Terry says, it's muscle memory. I don't sew through the fabrics as most of you already know. Katie says, I have the Vortex BOM, which is Block of the Month, but have barely started. Too many other projects. Yeah, I totally understand that. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with sewing up these pieces. Okay, so for the first thing we want to do is we need to make sure I'm doing this right. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take one of our hourglasses, and we want to set it up this way so that the pieces are going, the colored pieces are going this way, and then we want to take one of our blocks here, and we want to make sure that the half square triangle, the full half square triangle, is on the bottom left. We're going to put those pieces together just like this. We're going to be putting them all together like this, so I need to pay very close attention and make sure that I'm doing it correctly. The good news is there's no seams to line up, so that does make things a little bit easy to do. Alright, so now the next one goes in. We're going to do this way. And this way. I'm going to double check every single block just to make sure I'm doing it right. So that we can, we don't screw this up again. Alright, we are off to the races now. Oh, she doesn't sew through the paper. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. I wasn't 100% sure what was happening there, but I wasn't going to question it. You guys are the experts, not me. So yeah, but that does make more sense. She doesn't sew through the paper, which is a way to do things. Especially if you're using the freezer paper, that helps too. Terry says, "Thank you for the paper piecing tip, Danny. I have found that the line on the paper gets trapped behind white thread and white fabric, and it is noticeable." Yeah, so that's what I found, Terry, is if you turn your stitch length down really low, like I turned mine down, I think to like 0.8 or something. I mean, it's really, really small. What do I do? Hang on, let me see. No, 1.6 is what I use. I use a 1.6 stitch length on mine when I do them. And that makes the stitches that much closer together, and it makes that paper pull much nicer, and you don't get anything underneath the stitches usually. I shouldn't say all, I won't say always, but I will say usually you don't get any stuck underneath there. Now, if the pieces are really small, I have found those pieces when they're really small, it does make it a little bit more difficult to get that paper out. But that's when I use my purple thing, or if you have a stiletto, those work really well too, the low pointed end to get up underneath the paper. That's what I have found works. I'm so not an expert when it comes to paper piecing, especially paper piecing, because that's fairly new to me. But those are the tricks that I have found that work really well for me. Obviously, if you guys have better tricks or things like that, you're going to want to share those with our group here, our community, either on Facebook or in the comments down below, to help other people out. But that's what I have found to work. But again, so expert on that for sure, especially paper piecing. That's a very new one to me. I am triple checking every single one of these blocks to make sure that I'm sewing them up correctly, because I'm really hopeful that we're not going to have any more problems. So I'm lining up everything I'm seeing with the picture just to make sure that I'm doing it right. Lucas says, "I'm back. My Wi-Fi was acting up." No problems, Lucas. We understand. I've been having technical difficulties all weekend, so I'm glad to hear that somebody else is having issues too. But I'm also glad to hear you're back. No problems. All right. A few weeks ago, we made, when my mom was in the channel, like this was probably sometime last month, we made sewing machine pedal pads, non-slip pads. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let me show you. Magic behind the curtain. These things here, I made these with the little bumpers on them. So cool. And they work fantastic. I've got one on the floor right now. I don't have to chase the pedal anymore. I absolutely do not have to chase the pedal. It was a little bit tricky to make this little bumper thing here because I did not want to hand sew it. The directions say to hand sew it, and I'm just not into that. So I did have to machine sew it, but otherwise, super cool. Really easy, pretty easy to make. They work so well, so well. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you check out that video. It'll give you the instructions on how to make it. It was made with the no slip. I use it for shelving paper. I don't know what you're supposed to use it for, but that's what I use it for. My mom uses it underneath her rugs. It's like a no slip. I don't even know what you call it. But yeah, it works really well. But I have been using one under my machine, and I'm like, where has this been all my life? Because it is wonderful. And I got, Dawn, thank you so much for your email. I did get your email about how to make jar openers with it. So that is definitely something I'm going to look into. You might see that here on the channel in a few weeks. We'll see if we can make some of those. That'll be a lot of fun. Just reminding everybody to tickle that like button. Thank you, Lucas. If you haven't already. And of course, if you are new to the stream and you're just watching now, please consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Excuse me again. We are up to, this number here is wrong. This number here is wrong. We're up to like 532 or 33 subscribers. I don't remember the exact number now. I apologize for not knowing. I should, and I don't. I try not to pay too much. I try not to pay too much attention to my subscriber count, if I'm being honest, because that's not the priority of my channel. You know, obviously everybody wants to have subscribers, but the priority is not necessarily how many subscribers I have on my channel. It's just making friends and having a good time. So that's why I try to pay more attention to that than I do to the number of subscribers. Although it is, you know, it is something that's kind of important to a channel. I mean, you can't have a channel without subscribers, so. But it's just not as important to me as some other things. So I don't pay too much attention to it. I usually check it once every couple of weeks, if I remember. But if you haven't made yourself one of these foot pads and you are the kind of person that has to chase around your pedal all the time, I absolutely recommend it. Super quick and easy to make. Come on. There we go. Super quick and easy to make. Each one took me about half an hour, 45 minutes to make. Oh my gosh, Brenda, that is funny. That is really funny. Brenda says she just heard that jar openers are called rubber husbands. Oh my goodness. I mean, that could be taken many different ways, I think. But that is funny. That is really, really funny. That is funny. Okay, there's some. Just make sure they're all correct. I am being so careful with this pattern because I've made so many mistakes with it already that I'm just triple checking to make sure that I've got it correctly in this pattern. And now when I put the blocks together again, I'll make sure it as well. Kathleen says, Terry says, I just put the rubber pad on the floor, but it is so much nicer. Oh, I mean, that is definitely the way to do it too. You could just use the rubber part of it and just put that on the floor for sure. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to make it into a nice pretty pad if you don't want to. I do like the bumper on this one because the bumper kind of keeps the pedal from sliding on the pad itself. So that's kind of neat. It does serve its purpose. So. All right, so those are a handful of blocks there. We're gonna keep going with more blocks. Everybody's laughing at Brenda. That was so funny. That is really funny. June says, okay, people, it's time for me to go. Have a great day. No problem, June. We appreciate you hanging out with us today, this morning, or however long you've got. We really appreciate that. Thanks for stopping in. All right, so there's this one. And this one. Does anybody have any fun plans with this past weekend that they took care of? Besides picking up leaves? Alright, so there's this one. Nope. Oh, wait, I almost got that one. There's that one there. And this one here. Alright. I'm going extra slow with these guys just to make sure that I'm doing them correctly. I've already been so frustrated with this project. I don't want to be frustrated with it anymore. I'd love to see it come to completion. Right. Just sewing up blocks. What do you guys think of the music today? I told you guys I flipped over from Pretzel Rock streaming music to what's called Slip Stream. That's S-L-I-P Stream. It's a web-based program outside of Streamlabs. And they've got a bunch of different options for music to choose from. I am having a little bit of an issue with some copyright stuff, but it seems like so far everything I've disputed has come back okay. I think it's just because I've just started using it. I had the same issue with Pretzel Rock when I was using Pretzel Rock. So I'm not a monetized channel yet. If I was a monetized channel, I think I'd be worried about it a little bit more. But I'm kind of keeping an eye on it for right now. Elena says she had a birthday party for her grandson. He turned a year old. Oh, wow. That's a special age. That is awesome. Hi, Judy. Welcome to the channel. Thanks so much for joining us again today. I hope you are well. Chloe says we had to buy my husband a used truck. It's a black Chevy Silverado. I wish we didn't have to, but his old truck body was rotted. Yeah, that was one of the things we were supposed to do this weekend. We were supposed to be looking at a new car, not for me, but for one of my daughters. But it turns out they had some mechanical issues with it, and so they had to bring it into another dealer to have it fixed. So we weren't actually able to look at it this weekend. Hopefully we'll get to look at it next weekend. We'll have to wait and see how things go. Brett says, Sis is going out of time for Thanksgiving, so we had dinner yesterday. Oh, that sounds like fun. Dinner with your sister is always fun. Terry says, I'll be back. Foodies needed badly. LOL. No, I totally understand. Chloe says, I like the music. Oh, good. I'm glad. Dawn says, so about the monetization. Got the 1,000 subs, and then you have to have 3,000 watch hours in a year, so not monetized. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Dawn. Yeah, for me, it's 500 subs and, excuse me, 3,000 hours. And then for 1,000, I thought it was 4,000 viewing hours. So yeah, you have to have both. Tracy says, I like the music, but have not found myself consciously bouncing my knee to it like the other music. No, Tracy, I appreciate that opinion. I truly do. And that is what I'm actually trying to look for. I'm trying to look for that bouncy music, and I have not found it yet. So I appreciate that feedback. I will keep looking. So for some reason today, my baby lock is just eaten up my seams today, but I think that's probably because these are kind of worn in seams already, you know, because we had to pull them apart once and put them back together, so they're kind of a little angry already. So I'm just trying to be very careful with them. Go. Oh, yeah, Dawn, I totally agree with you. She says, by the time I get monetized, they'll change the rules again. I'm with you there. I understand. Me personally, I don't... If I get the channel, if the channel becomes monetized, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I've mentioned that a ton of times before, but it's just not, it's not a priority for me. I'm not necessarily in this to make any money. I mean, if I do eventually, great. That's fantastic. That would be an added bonus. But that's not why I have my channel. Again, if I do, great. If I don't, that's okay too. I'm not super focused on it. I mean, I understand what the rules are. I understand how to do all that. You know, I'm going to try and follow the rules as best I can. But that's not my main focus. My main focus is to hang out with you guys every week, to bring you content that you want to watch, to bring you projects that you want to pay attention to, that you want to work with me, you know, and get involved with, things like that. That's my main focus. To have a good time. That is my main focus. You know, these are projects that I would have been working on anyway by myself, not necessarily with the channel. So I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity to share them with you and that you guys want me to share them with you. So exactly, Dawn. I like doing the YouTube for the viewers. I am not worried about subscriptions or subscribers, or, I mean, again, don't get me wrong, that is an important piece of the channel, but it's not my main focus. I'm not doing this for a living. Some people, you know, if you're doing YouTube for a living, obviously it's very important to you. I'm not. And I don't think that I necessarily have any interest in doing this for a living. Some people, that is their goal, is to, you know, be able to leave their corporate jobs and do this full time. And that's not a goal for me. All right. Go. Still working through these blocks a little bit at a time. Oh, Tracy, you are so sweet. You are so kind. And I'm going to do, and I will make you this promise, Tracy, that no matter what happens with this channel, you know, for however long it takes, no matter what happens with this channel, I will always try to find some way to keep that one-on-one experience with you guys. You know, whether that be some type of extra Zoom call like Becky does, or Becca does, or something like that. I will try to find some way to make sure that I am interacting with you on a personal level, so that you still feel like we are here together. You know, that is always my goal, and that will always be my goal. You know, the whole point of this channel is to make friends. And the only way to make friends is to be able to build that relationship between friends. And no matter how big this channel gets, no matter how many people are in chat, no matter how big the subscribers end up getting, you know, who knows how big it will end up being at some point in time. But I will always do my very, very best to make sure that you and I have that relationship. You know, that you personally have that relationship with me, and then I have that relationship with each of my subscribers if they want it. I mean, some people are not interested in that, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But I will do my very best to try and keep that relationship as best I can, because that is the goal of this channel, is to make friends and have those friends and those relationships. That's what's important to me, and it will always be what's important to me. So, but I truly appreciate that. She says that I'm one of her favorite channels, and I cannot express to you how much that means, how kind that is, and how much that means to me. So thank you for that, those kind words. I know this channel is not, you know, it's not one of the highest of qualities. I'm sure there's a lot of other channels out there that are much better with quality with regards to the picture, the sound, and things like that. And so saying things like that just really warms my heart. So thank you for that. I truly, truly appreciate that. All right. Making blocks. It's a block party, baby. But you're right, we do need some music that makes us bop a little bit more, because this one is not working, is it? This is just not working. So we're going to have to find some bop channel music. I'll keep looking. Chloe says, I love your channel, Danny. Oh, well, thank you, Chloe. I appreciate that. I truly do. You guys are amazing. I love this community. Dawn, that is exactly my goal every Sunday. That is exactly my goal every Sunday when I bring you guys into my quilt room. It is literally like I want you to feel like you are right here with me. That is my goal. That is always my goal every week, is to make sure that you guys feel like we're all kind of just hanging out together in the same room. So I'm glad I'm doing what I set out to do. So I appreciate you pointing that out. Thank you. Yeah, Katie, I have to agree with you. Katie says she doesn't understand how those channels that get so big, they ditch the one-on-one, because that is really what makes the channel. I 100%, and that is something that you guys have my promise on. No matter how big this channel gets, if it even gets big, I'm not under any false illusions that it ever will. But you guys have my promise that I will always do everything I can to try and keep that one-on-one experience, for sure. Dawn says this channel is in my top 3, including all the big ones. You guys are so kind. You're gonna make me cry. Do not make me cry today. You guys are so kind, so sweet. Thank you so much for that. I truly, you really have no idea how much those types of compliments mean to me, because it justifies all the frustrations. Sometimes it truly does, because I really appreciate things like that, because I know that I'm one of the bigger channels. I'm not one of the higher quality channels. So I truly appreciate that. We try to have fun on this channel as much as I can. I know the music's kind of somber today. I will find a way to fix that for sure. But we try to have fun. That's why, we've got the gambling and the fun music. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. I wasn't fishing for compliments. I was just being honest. We were just talking about monetizing the channel and the goals, and that's just where I'm at. Don says this is the place to be on Sunday morning and sometimes on Saturday nights. Well, the Saturday night ones are a little colorful, aren't they? They're a little colorful lately. But I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad that I have become your guys' Sunday morning routines. Because Lord knows you guys are. You guys are definitely my Sunday morning routine. And every time I can't be here with you guys, whether it be a family obligation or I'm sick or there's another reason that I can't be here, you guys are absolutely in my thoughts. And I get so upset with myself that I can't be here. Because I feel like, this helps my whole week. This really does. This helps my whole week. It makes things so nice. I look forward to it every time. Okay, so the channel that I picked today was called Happy Place Music, and it's not. It's very slow and somber, so I'm going to have to find something better. I'll have to keep looking. But that's always what happens when you change to different providers. I'm trying to see if there's a different variety of music to choose from. Pretzel Rock is great. It was doing a great job, but I wanted a little bit more variety. And in order to get the variety, I was going to have to sign up for a subscription for Pretzel Rock, and I was trying not to do that. So, yes, Dawn, I feel like I need popcorn because it is entertaining for sure. Yeah, popcorn is definitely a must on our Saturday streams because it's entertaining for sure. You never know what's going to happen there. You just never know. Betty says, I'm always watching, just mostly lurking. There's absolutely nothing wrong with lurking, Betty. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Because you guys know, I'm good at talking to myself, so it's not a problem. Talking is my superpower. That is it. Brenda says, if you know Kathy's Cute Creations, she was saying that she got flagged for music she was paying for. Thought of telling her to reach out to you on how to contest it, but she just canceled the music. Yeah, there is ways to dispute it. If you have a subscription or it's copyright free music, you can dispute your claim. But even so, sometimes even the disputes take a little while to get through. So, but it can be done. But YouTube also offers an editing option where you can actually just mute out the music in the video. So a couple times you guys will notice that on a couple of my videos I've had to do that with. I've disputed the claim, and for whatever reason it didn't go through, and then I just muted the music. So that is also an option as well. But yeah, she's welcome to reach out to me. I'm not an expert, but I can tell what I've done and how I was able to work through it. So music is a huge part of my life, so I like to share that with you guys as much as I can. I love a variety of different types of music, so just because a type of music that I'm listening to is not your cup of tea, that's perfectly fine. And I appreciate all the feedback that you guys give, because I want it to be entertaining for, you know, most everybody. So Julie, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. She says, happy Sunday Sew Day, everybody. Just catching the last few minutes I have to watch. No problems, Julie. Not a problem at all. We're on for another 40 minutes or so. So if you want to hang out with us for the next 40 minutes, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, I understand if you got somewhere else you need to be. But we appreciate you popping in and saying hello. We are just working on some blocks here. This is the Nemesis project. Sure I'm doing it right. I'm going really slow, super slow, to make sure that I'm lining up all these blocks correctly. I probably could lay them all out, but I don't know. I feel like I would still manage to add up somehow. So I'm just going to go one at a time. Go really slow, one at a time, and make sure that I'm doing this right. Alright. Just working through these blocks. Oh, looks like somebody's trying to start a heist in the chat. If you are interested in joining, it's basically just a luck of the draw kind of game. You do exclamation point heist space and then the number of thimbles you're willing to risk. You can only risk as many thimbles as you have, so please be careful. Good luck to all of our players. I have no control over who wins. So good luck. Lucas and I like to make sure that you guys are having a good time, so if by chance you do lose all of your thimbles, that's okay. Just let Lucas know. He can give you some back. The whole point is to have fun, to play the game. It's not necessarily about winning or losing. So if you do end up losing all your thimbles, that's okay. Lucas can give you some back. You may not get them all back, but you can get some of them back. If you are new to the channel and you only have a handful of thimbles, Lucas is pretty giving when it comes to new subscribers. He likes to get you set up with some thimbles to play with. So if you are new to the channel and you only have a handful, make sure you let him know. He can set you up as well. He is really gracious with those thimbles. He likes everybody to have a good time, just like I do. If you have no idea what the thimble is that I keep referring to and everybody you keep seeing in chat, please type in, let us know, and we can explain it to you. There's also that little box there in the corner that explains it as well, but I know for some people it doesn't work very well, depending on what type of a screen you're watching from. So we can absolutely explain it if you need us to. And you do not lose your thimbles from day to day. They roll over to the next stream. But they are only available on live streams. So if you're watching this as a replay, unfortunately, they are no longer available to you. They are only available during live streams. So make sure you try and check out a live stream if you can. If you are able. Someone asked early this morning when my next live stream will be. It will be next Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. I try to make the stream the same time, same day every week. Every once in a while we have to do a little bit of an adjustment to the time period because we have another obligation, but otherwise same time, same bat time, same bat channel. For those of you who lived in the 80s. Hi Teresa, good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're usually lurking. I see you playing with your thimbles a lot. You don't always chat. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. I appreciate you being here. We are just making blocks. And because this is my 4th attempt at trying to make these blocks, I'm going extra slow and being extra careful to try and make sure that I'm doing them correctly. Brant wants to know, am I on Twitch TV too? No, Brant, I am not on Twitch. I've thought about it a couple times, but I have not joined Twitch. And it was kind of funny because I don't see a whole lot of quilters on Twitch. I see a lot of scrapbooking, yarn work, things like that, but I don't see a lot of quilting. And so I'm not on Twitch yet, but it is definitely something I've been considering. Maybe, who knows? Maybe next year, we'll see. But yeah, I'm not on yet, no. Not yet. I wouldn't say I'll never be on because that's not necessarily true, but it's definitely something I've thought about doing just to try and reach out to a new audience and make some new friends. There was another question that came in. Dawn says, all my chores are done for the day. Whatever will I do with my time today? Oh gosh, Dawn, I just don't know. I have no idea. What could you possibly do with all that time? What project is this? What does a single block look like? Julie, that is an excellent question. This is the Tropics project. It is a pattern by Cozy Quilt Designs, and I can show you what the block looks like. Here, let me show you. Just a second here. I can actually put one together for you real quick if you want me to here. Let me separate these real quick and I'll put a block together for you. So you can see what the block looks like. So it's a 4-piece block. The full block is 4 pieces. Right now we're only doing half of it. But I can show you what it looks like. Give me just a minute. Just separating these out real quick. Been chain piecing them for a while now, apparently. I didn't realize I had this many back here. Excuse me. Got another row of them. I've just been sewing along, didn't even realize I had this many. Okay, let me grab 2 pieces real quick, show you what it looks like. Okay, so we take 2 of these, we take them both, and we push them both towards the same way. So I'm going to push them towards that way. And then basically we put the 2 pieces together. Let me sew them up real quick for you. Nest those seams in the center. Sometimes it just does not want to work with me. Let's try this again. There we go. Alright. Let me show you what this black is actually going to look like when we're done with it. Finger press this open real quick. Here, this is what it's going to look like. Ta-da! This way. And then we put these blocks together and it makes another pattern. Let me show you what the pattern looks like. Like I said, this is a Cozy Quilts design. It is called Tropics. I don't know if you guys can see this on the camera or not. It's going to be kind of hard because I have terrible lighting in here. That is what it looks like. You can also do exclamation point TR pattern in chat. That's for TR for Tropics in chat, and it will give you a link to a Cozy Quilts design pattern. Will be out there as well. That, my friend, is what we are working on today. Excellent question, though. Terry says, very pretty. Thank you. Julie says, it's a charming black and beautiful fabrics. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. But that is what we were working on. So we're just putting it. Oops. I just dropped my purple thing all the way over there. Hopefully I don't need it. But right now we're working on the block. I have had a terrible time putting these blocks together. This is the 4th time I've had to take them apart and put them back together. So that's why I'm going extra super slow to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. And that I don't screw anything up. Because as the channel name indicates, I am not an expert. I make a lot of mistakes, and I do it right here on the channel for you guys to see. But hopefully I learned from my mistakes. Terry says, well, Sandra, get over here and undo your mess. Oh my. What happened? Julie wants to know, did it come as a kit or did you pull your own fabrics for it? It did not come as a kit, no. I did pull my own fabrics for it, although I had some help. If you are a fan of Jordan Fabrics, Donna Jordan of Jordan Fabrics, she did a video on this particular pattern, not with these fabrics, but with this particular pattern, and then later on, you know, months later, they did a special on the jelly roll that we used for this particular project. I don't think I remember the name of it now. But she did a sale on this particular jelly roll and recommended this pattern for it. So that is actually how I came up with the 2 pieces. So I didn't put the pieces together myself. I am not that creative. I wish I was that creative, but I am not. I usually take recommendations and suggestions from the experts in our field, you know, so the Fat Quarter Shop, Donna Jordan, even Becca would be considered an expert in my opinion. Under my nail, but there was something there. So I usually take recommendations from them. I take recommendations from you guys as well. I see the pictures that you guys post on our Facebook group and our Instagram. If you tag me in either one of those, I see all the pickups. The projects that you guys are working on, and I take inspiration from that. Or every once in a while, I will actually join a kit as well. But the kits are very rare because they're pretty expensive usually, so I don't usually do those. Unless it's like a monthly subscription box kind of thing. Like I will sign up for the other project that we're working on, the Home Sweet Home, was a Fat Quarter Shop Liberty Box exclusive. So I did purchase that. And then I have also purchased some of the quarterly kits from Stephanie Stitches. If you guys are familiar with her, she does a quarterly box, seasonal box as well. So I've purchased her boxes a couple times as well. Teresa Lynch reminding everybody to tickle that like button. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that reminder. Thank you guys. That is absolutely right, Tracy. I make the mistakes so that you guys don't have to. That is absolutely right. I actually have one of the videos on my channel that says, learn from my mistakes. Because like you said, I make them for you so then that way you don't have to. But this particular project has become my nemesis. It is like, I don't understand why it's just difficult. Julie says determination is more important than creativity when it comes to finishing a beautiful quilt. Absolutely. Yes, that is 100% true, Julie. And I'm glad you brought it up. That is one of my very many mottos, is finished is better than perfect. That is the way I've looked at most everything. And a lot of times when I make mistakes, you guys will see me when I make mistakes on the channel, I will make the decision whether to take the pieces apart or just leave it. Sometimes I'll leave it if I don't think it's going to bother me, or if I don't think it's going to be noticeable. Sometimes I will leave it, but other times I will take it apart. In this particular case, because I really wanted that secondary pattern to show up, I was going to have to take everything apart. So I made the decision to take everything apart and start over. I didn't have to start completely over again. I mean, the little blocks were already done and they were done correctly. It's just the bigger pieces that had to get pulled apart. So I see a bunch of heist commands in the chat, so there must be another heist going on, or maybe the same one that we were talking about earlier. Make sure you get in on that quickly if you want to join. Good luck to all of our players. We are just about at the end of these blocks, which is fantastic timing. Got 4 or 5 more to go. If you're looking for the specific details of this quilt, the fabric, the pattern, the sizes, things like that, check the description and the box in the box down below. Check the description, because I did put all of that information in there. At the start of this particular project, I had offered it up as a quilt along if anyone else was interested in joining it with me. Fortunately, if anybody did do this quilt as a quilt along, they're already done because they did not make nearly as many mistakes as I did. So hopefully that is the way it worked out. But if you are interested in any of those details, you can absolutely check the description box below. I try to do that with all of our projects. So make sure you check out the descriptions if you're looking for details on any of the projects that we're working on that are long-term projects. The short-term ones, I don't get the details in there because, if I'm being completely honest, I don't even know we're working on that particular project until usually the day before. It's just kind of the way it works sometimes. It's a little warm in here. I'm going to turn this fan on real quick. You guys hear a little humming in the background. I do apologize. That is my fan. Julie says, well, I have to go deal with some things, so best of luck on the blocks and have a great week, everybody. Thanks for the live stream. No problem, Julie. We really appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully you can join us again next week. If we completely understand, there is no live stream, at least on this channel, the weekend of Thanksgiving. So I do apologize for that. But we will be back in December, and boy, have we got a packed schedule in December. You guys will see that here very, very soon, as soon as I get that scheduled. As soon as I get that one out. But December is going to be a very, very packed schedule. So really exciting. And then we've got some big anniversaries coming up in January. My birthday is in January, as well as the anniversary of the stream is in January as well. So we'll get to both of those things in January. So it's gonna be an exciting few months here on the channel. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, just keep going. Like Dory says, just keep going. Well, I guess it's swimming, but just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep moving forward. That's another one of my mottos. Man, I've dropped 3 mottos today. My goodness, it should be cool with these. Just keep moving forward. Katie says she'll be around Thanksgiving weekend. She's got nothing to do. Well, If you do a live stream, I'll make sure to promo it on my channel. You said you're going to be there the 29th, so that's the one with Kim Moose is on the 29th, so I think that's the weekend after Thanksgiving, so. Mr. Wizard and I will be out of town that weekend after Thanksgiving. We are bringing one of our daughters back down to Kentucky. So we're going to be leaving Saturday night, coming back Sunday. It's a 7-hour drive, so we probably could have done it in one day. But, you know, why do that to ourselves? So we're going to turn it into a fun little weekend getaway with our youngest daughter. It'll be fun. It's not often we get to spend time with our youngest daughter by herself. I mean, usually she's, you know, roped in with all the other kids. So it'll be actually really nice to spend some time just with her. Oh, Katie, that sounds like fun, doing a Zoom sew-along or something. That could be fun. There you go. All right. We're getting there. Last one. Yeah, we definitely need to do something about this music. It's way too slow. It's gonna make me fall asleep. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to find some better music. I'll have to invest some time in making sure that I find a better channel. A better playlist for sure. Something that's a little bit more upbeat and vibey. Alright. John says, well, I got to scoot. Battery's almost dead. Recharge. But everybody, see you later. No problem, Dawn. We appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for joining us. You have a great rest of your weekend, rest of your week, and hopefully we will see you again next week. Katie says, my heart light flies home on... flies home the 28th of November. Hopefully there will be no weather. Yes, hopefully. All right, let's get all these back together. I think I am going to press these open while I'm waiting. We've got a few minutes left of the stream, so while we're waiting, we'll go ahead and press these open real quick. Some people don't do this, but I like to take the time to press all my seams down before I sew the next step because I just feel like it goes together better. I do finger press everything as well, but I just feel like a nice hard press lays everything nice and flat so that it goes under my machine better. You guys know my machine's a little bit on the older side and the feed dogs are not that great. So my machine struggles a little bit with some bulk under there. Usually those, you know, when those four seams come together is usually when it struggles. So I like to try and do everything I can to give it that little extra oomph to make it work. So I'm going to go ahead and press all my seams down. You guys, that's a step that you guys can or do or don't have to take. That's completely up to you. It's your preference. I know Scott from, Sean from The Guy Who Sews hates ironing. So he would much rather just finger press it and put it all together. From his perspective, but I do like to actually press everything down. That's just kind of the way I prefer to do things. Lay this one down there. It's one of our blocks. And now I'm just going to go ahead and press all of these the same direction. I'm going to press them all towards the half square triangle fabric. So just smush it down. And go to the next one. Terry, Terry, I agree with you. Nothing like a good press. Yeah, I agree. I think it really helps things out when you can press that seam down nice and flat. I just think it makes my life easier when I'm sewing it, so I take that extra step. Some people don't, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, but it is definitely something that I prefer. You guys saw me at the beginning of the stream. I was pressing the blocks flat again because some of them had folded because we had sewn all of these blocks up together, and then I had to pull them all apart. So we had that 1/4 inch seam that was kind of bent and little kitty wampus. And so I pressed all the blocks up again just to make sure everything laid nice and flat, and it didn't give me any trouble running through the machine. And I know you guys have heard me say it 1,000 times before, but I absolutely love my cordless iron. It was a game changer for me. Absolute game changer for me. And having this little this little ironing tables right here, this little ironing station, while it looks pretty small, I'm going to say I can use it for probably 90 to 95% of the project. Until I get to a point where I've got basically the entire quilt top put together, that's when I actually have to pull out the big ironing board and iron it that way. But for the most part, I can use this small ironing table for just about everything that I do. It has become a game changer for me, for sure. And all it is a TV tray with a heat-resistant pad that you can buy at any store. I bought mine on Amazon. It's built so that this pad is built so it goes like on top of your dryer, So I have a heat-resistant pad, and then I have my wool pressing mat on top of that. And that's basically all it is. I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't make anything. There's no, and everything kind of pulls back apart. If you guys watched my video of setting my room back up a couple weeks ago, you'll see that I pulled this all apart from the case that it was in and put it all back. You can see how that was all set up. Terry says, I have a cordless and I love it. Yeah, it's a total game changer. I have a corded vacuum. Oh my goodness. I have a corded iron as well, and I will use that when I pull out the big ironing board. I'll use it then, but otherwise I prefer the cordless one. This one is a Panasonic. I bought it used on eBay because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, and I was not really willing to spend the $200 on a brand new one if I didn't like it. And I didn't know it at the time, but when I was looking for them on eBay, a purple one came up on eBay. And you guys know purple is one of my favorite colors. So that is how I snagged a purple one. They don't actually make a purple one anymore. I have no idea what year this one's from, but it heats up really well. Mr. Wizard has one of those infrared temperature sensors. So he can actually the laser sensors. He can check the temperature of things because he works on automotive. He works on cars. And so... We heated up both of my corded iron and this one, and we checked the temperature on both of them, and they were within a degree of each other, 1 degree of each other. So it was really impressive to say, okay, so it is getting up to the temperature it needs to be at. So that was pretty impressive. Because I was worried that, it being a cordless iron, that maybe it just didn't get up to the same temperature as a corded one, but it absolutely does. And it holds that heat for quite a while too. I mean, for as long as you need it. Obviously it's not going to hold up forever, but it does hold up for quite a while. I have done, you guys have seen me on this channel work with fat quarters. I work with fat quarters a lot. Those iron up really nicely. I've done full yardage. I have ironed up full yardage on this little bitty ironing station as well too. So it just depends on what your needs are. But definitely a game changer for a very small investment of money. I think the most expensive piece was my wool pressing mat, and that was actually a gift from a family member. So I didn't have to pay for that. But that was probably the most expensive piece. Terry says I made my mini ironing board as well. Poster board, batting, foil, and a cotton top. Yep, exactly. Yep. Terry, oh hi Terry Bishop, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't think I've seen your name pop up before, but thank you so much for joining us. She said, I press too. Well, that is great. That is really great. Terry says, I have a Steam Fast cordless. It's a mid-size from Amazon. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Like I said, the only reason I got the Panasonic is because at the time that was the only cordless iron that I knew existed. I didn't know that there were other brands out there, but I did not pay nearly what you would pay for a brand new one. Because like I said, I got mine for really, really inexpensively on eBay. And actually, I was able to get two of them. I got a white one and a purple one, and I gave the white one to my mom for Christmas. So she has one too. And she said the same thing that I do. She says it's an absolute game changer. She said, and she doesn't, she doesn't sew like I do. She doesn't do quilts. She just uses it for clothes. But she says even for clothes, it's wonderful because you don't have to worry about the cord anymore. The cord doesn't get caught on things. It doesn't bend things. She goes, it's wonderful. She goes, and you can put it anywhere. I'm like, yep. You're not limited to where you can plug it in at because you can have it further away. Because all you need to do is be able to get back to the base. So like when I'm in my kitchen, I can plug it in and set this on the counter on one place, and then I can just walk to where I need to do what I need to do. So that is one of the nice things as well. Terry says she agrees those irons are nice. They are very nice. Yeah, absolute game changer, 100%. Again, in my opinion. Some people are not for them, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I do not use any steam in my irons. It's personal preference. I do not use any steam because I have the wool pressing mat, and basically with the wool pressing mat, you don't need the steam. If I really am in a jam and I have a really hard wrinkle that just will not come out, what I will do is I actually have a water bottle, a spray bottle that I will use instead of steam. I will actually just spray the fabric with the water, let it sit for just a second, and then go ahead and iron over top of that, and it acts the same way as steam. That's what I do. Again, not an expert. You guys do what works best for you. I'm just telling you what works for me. I get all those questions a lot, so I like to answer them when I have time. And if you are watching this replay, or even now, if you guys have a question, I'm happy to answer it, or at least give you my opinion, or tell you what I do. If you guys have a question, you are always welcome to ask. You can leave a comment in the chat, or you can leave a comment on the video or any of my videos. I'm happy to answer any of the questions that I can. I try to answer all of my comments within 48 hours. That is my personal goal. Obviously, sometimes that doesn't happen. And if you really have a long, lengthy question that you want to ask me, or you want to have a conversation, send me an email. We can absolutely chat via email. I check my emails all the time. I'm always checking emails and trying to respond to those. But apparently, except for when I'm sick and I have a head cold, and then I must delete them or something. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened with the notions for October, and I'm so sorry to those of you who redeemed notions in October and they never got out. I wish I had an explanation. I don't even have that. So whatever happened, I will make sure that they get out this time for sure. Agnes, hi, how are you? I hope you are well. I see you popped in there for chat. We are just ironing up half of the blocks that we were working on today. Just kind of at the tail end of the stream, just hanging out for a few minutes. Just ironing up these pieces. I love it when they lay flat. I don't know. There's something just so satisfying about ironing. Now, I can't stand ironing clothes. I don't know what it is. I cannot stand it. It makes me crazy. I cannot stand ironing clothes. But you give me a piece of wrinkled fabric, and I will absolutely sit here and I will take 2 hours to iron that piece of fabric to make sure that it is nice and flat, because it is just so satisfying to me to see all those wrinkles just disappear. So it just, it's just so satisfying to watch it. Agnes says, hi Danny, I'm lurking today, but I took my chance. No, absolutely, we understand. No worries, I appreciate you lurking. Thanks for popping in, playing with the thimbles, no problem. Hopefully you won. I didn't check to see if you win or not. I just saw your name pop in there. Yeah, you did. You won 500, so congratulations on that. Terry says, I looked on Jordan Fabrics to see the pattern, and it's a pretty one. It is very pretty, yeah. Like I said, the fabric that she used for her video is different than this fabric, but it's a really pretty pattern. And it's, you know, if you pay attention, it's a pretty simple one to do. So I don't understand why I'm having such a hard time with it. But it is a really pretty one. It will come together nicely, hopefully now that we actually know what we're doing. And it's a Cozy Quilt design, so Cozy Quilt writes their patterns perfectly. They're so easy to follow. They're quick and easy to follow, so I don't understand why I'm having such a hard time with it. I think it's just me. But I'm glad you popped over there to take a look. I think the pattern itself is also available on Amazon. I think that's the link that I provided was the one from Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. You can probably get it digitally someplace as well if you wanted it digitally. I think that's how I got my pattern. I think my pattern is a digital pattern. I printed it, so. Terry says, I too avoid ironing clothes, but I can't stand to work. Can't stand to work up with wrinkled fabric. LOL. Yep, I agree with you. I want my fabric to be nice and flat. I will use the starch if I need to. I will use the spray bottle if I need to. Anything to get out of that stubborn line in fabric. But clothes, I can wear those wrinkled. I don't have a problem with that. I do have a steam iron. I will say this. I do have a steamer for clothing that I will use a lot, especially when we travel, because that one's probably the easiest one to pack. So I do have a steamer that I will use sometimes for clothing. If we're going someplace fancy, you know. But everyday clothes, forget it. I don't care if there's a wrinkle in it. It doesn't bother me. I have animals, so there's always animal hair on everything that I have anyway. So although the only animal that still sheds is our cat, but I used to have animal hair on everything. And so I just kind of got used to that kind of thing happening. So I don't worry about wrinkles. They don't bother me. Terry says, well, Donna Jordan can go to a shelf and choose any fabric she wants. I don't think we can afford to do that. LOL. Can't waste or mess up. Absolutely. Yes, I have to agree with you there. We do have to be a little bit more selective about our fabrics and be a little bit more careful with them, for sure. And I don't think that she puts the whole thing together either. I think I've watched a couple of her videos where she puts a handful of the blocks together and then she hands the rest of the blocks to her team and her team puts them together. So she doesn't always put everything together. Although, like I said, she's an awesome woman. I would love to meet her one day. She does a fantastic job. She is one of the reasons I've learned how to quilt. Her YouTube videos have taught me how. I use a lot of her free patterns, a lot of them. They are awesome to work with, so I'm not dissing her in any way, shape, or form. I absolutely support her 100%. So, and I purchase a lot of the matte cuts of fabric too, so it's great. Alright, just getting through these. I've got a handful more here to do, so normally the stream ends at 12:30, but we'll go ahead and finish up ironing these, and then we'll end the stream there. We've got a few more minutes. I'm glad that my technical difficulties managed to hang out with us for today. For some reason, something's wrong with my laptop, and the first time I turn the laptop on, it's like things don't want to connect all the way. Like yesterday, I had issues getting it to connect to my big screen, and now today I was having issues getting it to connect up to the camera. Like the camera just wouldn't connect up. Like remember when the last time when I was having issues with the camera. So I think I know what the problem is. I think I need to buy new parts. I'm probably gonna look into that after the stream here and pick up a new one. Order a new one. Oh boy, Lucas has just went all in on the heist, so you want to get in on that, win some of his thimbles. Man had over 200,000 thimbles last time I checked. That's crazy. He thinks there's a free car in it. Terry says, that's interesting. I would hand off some things if I could. LOL. Sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. For the most part, though, I enjoy the journey. Although, with this particular project, I probably would have handed this one off by now because of the frustrations with it. But for the most part, I enjoy the journey. I enjoy making the pieces. And I'm never in any hurry to make any projects. I don't set any deadlines for myself. At least, not with anything I'm doing on the channel. If I'm setting a deadline for myself, it's usually something that I don't do on the channel. I do it off camera. Because then that way I have a little more time to focus. But it's very rare that I set a deadline for myself. We do kind of have a soft deadline for our t-shirt quilt stuff. I'm hoping to have that stuff done by Christmas. And I think we'll have the Christmas one done by then. And that's really the focus, is making sure that that Christmas one is done. Because I'd like to have the person who that project is intended for, I'd like them to be able to use that on their Christmas table for dinner. For Christmas dinner. So that is the goal for that one, and I think we're going to be able to get that one done. That one is actually, we're in the final stages of that one. We're actually going to be sewing that one up together on, I think next week. Next week we're going to actually be sandwiching that one, and starting the quilting process for that one. So I think we're going to be good to go with at least the Christmas one. We're going to prioritize that one over the zoo one. We'll probably get that one done. In fact, I need to make sure that I cut the I don't know why I have such a hard time with the word. It's the stuff, the batting that goes in between the layers. I need to make sure that I cut that before our next stream, so that's all ready to go. I've got some pieces, smaller pieces down in my bin down there, so I want to see if I have any pieces that'll be big enough for it. If not, I've got a queen-sized quilt, a queen quilt-sized piece that I can cut from up there in the rafters, up there, if I need it. I call it in the rafters, but it's really just on top of the cabinet here. I use that as storage. I bought that a while ago because I have a bunch of table runners that I've been working with. Kathy says, bye, Danny, and everyone have a great day. No problem, Kathy. We appreciate you hanging out with us as long as you have. Thanks so much for that. We're just about finished up here ourselves. This is the last piece that we're ironing up. So thank you for that. There we go. Last piece. All right. So good news is that I finally feel like we've got our handle on this project and we're moving in the right direction with it. There were no mistakes made today. Yay. Knock on wood. I'm sure we'll find one. But great news is that we're moving in the right direction. The next time we come back to this project, which it might be in December, but it might honestly be in January because I've got a bunch of stuff that I want planned in January. But the next time we come back to this project, we will be finally putting the actual final blocks together, this is what they will look like. Again, just so you guys are reminded, that's what they will look like. We will finally be putting the actual blocks together, and then we might be able to get this quilt together. I say might because Lord only knows what's going to happen. But anyway, all right, guys, I'm so glad that we have been able to salvage this project and get back on track with it. That actually makes my heart happy. I'm really glad that we didn't waste anything doing this. So I'm excited for that. Thanks so much for joining me today on this beautiful Sunday morning. To all of our new subscribers. We've got a bunch of new subscribers this week. Thank you to all of you. Thanks for all the new names that I saw in chat today. At one point I saw there was 35 people in chat, which is just huge for our community. So thank you to every single one of you that have popped in Those of you that are lurking, those of you that are in chat, thank you so much to all of you. I love spending time with you guys. Don't forget to check out our Facebook group, !FB in chat, or there is a link in the description box below. Check out our Facebook group. Share your projects there. I love interacting with you guys there. It gives me another tool to really be able to interact with you guys and to see what you guys are working on. So I love seeing your pictures over there. All right, I will see you guys again next week. Have a great one. See you again soon.